All right, so we're going to start with part two. You can go ahead and continue, Stoney.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, the tendency for a lot of people moving to these countries is they're accustomed to doing things in a certain way back home. You pay somebody to make things happen. It generally happens in the time span that they promise. But in moving to countries like this, hardly anything happens on schedule. Permitting, whatever. If it's immigration, if you're looking to have somebody do work on your home or whatever, hardly anything happens on time. So it takes a while to adapt to that. And some people never adapt. And as a rule, those people who can't adapt end up going back home. So that's basically it. You just have to learn to be patient in these environments.
Now, would you say that it's definitely cheaper in Central America to purchase a home versus the United States?
Oh, very definitely. It's less expensive to purchase a home. I mean, if you were looking at a beachfront property, for instance, in Destin, Florida, if you were able to find a beachfront lot, as you know already, it would probably be in the neighborhood of $350,000 to $500,000 or $600,000 just for the beachfront lot. Okay, people can come down here. You can still find a beachfront parcel for $75,000, $80,000. You can still find one. Okay, housing. You can find housing. However, the housing is generally not built to the standards that we're accustomed to in North America. So you're going to have to do some work there. The difference between purchasing here and purchasing there is that this is generally it's an all-cash market. So what has happened in the past, people who take out a home equity loan in the United States, they'll come here and they'll purchase whatever they want to purchase, and after the purchase, they own it with absolutely no bank encumbrances at all. And that's a very good thing in my opinion. Now, there are many advantages in my opinion, and as I said earlier, I've been in the real estate arena now since 1975. I've got a really good feeling for what's happening in these countries. This is an emerging market, and that's the key word now with investors. Investors in the stock market, investors in the real estate market, they're looking for new horizons. Okay, emerging market, real estate, very different from established markets. For instance, in Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, they're well developed. They have a lot of infrastructure. Okay, and with that, they've got an oversupply chasing demand. You understand what I'm saying? You've got many more resorts, many more hotel rooms, many more homes than you have people that are available to fill them.
Exactly, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So you've got an oversupply and not enough demand. Okay, and very high prices because of the infrastructure. Now, what happens in those developed markets, including the United States, when you have a meltdown in the world economy as we're experiencing right now, those are the markets that are affected most.
Really?
Those are the markets that are affected most. And what the investors have learned over the years is that emerging markets tend to hold their value better.
Okay.
Because there are fewer properties available in emerging markets. If you look at all of the coastal area here in Massachusetts, Poacher Mill, how many for sale signs have you seen?
I've seen quite a few.
not directly on the beach. They're not directly on the
okay.
beach. You see? Now, there are for sale signs around.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of for sale signs around, away from the beach. But if you look at coastal properties, there's not that much for sale here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the way it is. So when you think real estate, think emerging markets, because the opportunities are there. For instance, here in this area, if you're walking the beach, Abdul,
Mm-hmm.
early morning, you're as likely to walk to run across a pig as you are a person.
Well, what would you do on that one?
Because there are lots of pigs around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the people here, it's a protein source that doesn't have to be managed at all.
Mm.
They can own pigs, let them run free. When they're ready to eat, they just go and hustle up one of the pigs and they butcher and they eat. They don't have to feed them. They don't have to do anything with them.
Exactly.
Okay? So these are the things that you learn to be accepting of when you live in places like this. Okay? You have an opportunity, if you're thinking of living here, to live in an environment that you get to really be a pioneer in. Because you're moving here before the infrastructure is in place, before the people have really discovered Nicaragua as a destination.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And that's how it works. A very small percentage of investors, if you look at the investment market, this being the entire market,
Yeah.
the people that are purchasing in Nicaragua are probably compressed down to that.
Wow.
Because what it is, it's a risk-taker's type of investment. And not everybody has the intestinal fortitude to enter.
Mm.
Most of the market is going to be more comfortable waiting for all of the infrastructure to be put in place.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, they're going to pay a much higher price. Okay?
So the people who acted first definitely will benefit later.
Exactly. And that's how it works anywhere in the world.
Mm.
Okay?
So you said that pretty much here everything is pretty much cash money.
Yes.
Versus in the United States, you know, we deal with loans and
Exactly.
a lot of people are in debt.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a way to get into something, because you don't necessarily have to build your structure right away. Like, for instance, I was talking to one guy. He said what he did was he built his walls first.
Mm-hmm.
Then he brought his supplies in, and he had a security guard the supplies.
That's right.
And he built little by little.
Yes, that's generally how most people will do it. Our company, as you know, does construction work as well. And that's what we do. We put the walls up first, okay? And putting up the walls, we can put a security guy inside, because if you're bringing supplies, construction supplies and things of that nature, you can't have them unattended on site.
Exactly.
Okay? So the walls give you an opportunity to have security,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or secured location. And that's how most people will do it, particularly working people that are still working and not yet ready for retirement. They'll just build on a cash basis, and it's a process that may be a little bit slower than if you had all of the cash in hand with a bank loan or whatever. But once you complete the process, you have the peace of mind of knowing that this home is yours.
Okay. So,
Free of loans.
Stoney, we're reaching the 10-minute mark again. So if people want to get in contact with you, what is your information?
Well, we can be reached at info, I-N-F-O, at realtysolnicaragua.com. That's REALTYSOL Nicaragua.com. Or I can be contacted personally at my cell number, 505-8829-7795.
Okay. All right, Stoney, well, we want to thank you for sharing some thoughts with us, and we're reaching that 10-minute mark. So hopefully we can get another video with you sometime to ask you some more questions.
Sure.
But thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time as well.
Okay, signing off.